What's up, guys? Shane here, aka Tentacles and Tentacles, back to give you a little bit of movie news or movie rumors and some follow up on some things that have gone on. So, please, if you like my content, subscribe at the bottom, ring the notification bell, like, share. Please, drop a comment. I always want to hear what you guys think. And you're going to hear me do a bit of clicking because I'm going to be going through a couple of tabs because I wanted to make sure I had all these facts. Now, as I mentioned before in my last video, I don't particularly like doing a lot of rumors because rumors cannot be substantiated unless you have sources behind it. And a lot of times, well, people don't have reliable sources. And a lot of times people are just grabbing information from other people who get it from other people, so on and so forth. And I am not an insider. I just happen to follow some people who have insiders. And the story I'm bringing to you is Beyonce going to be in Black Panther, and is she going to be Storm? Well, the story came out January 11th, and I have a couple of links. This one's from the Cosmopolitan, and it was written by a Shannon Barber, who seemed very excited for Beyonce to play Storm. And the rumor came from The Sun, which turns out is a tabloid in England, I believe London, England. And the rumor was Beyonce is going to be working with Disney Marvel on 3 different movies, including Black Panther, with the potential for being Storm. And it was supposed to be like $100 million deal, following the fact that she was in the Lion King live action remake, voicing Nala, which, yeah, I'm gonna get into that in a second. So, she also made a album to go with the Lion King, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh man, this is pretty interesting." But as expected, and this news comes from the MCUcosmic.com, and I written by Jeremy Conrad, and he literally followed it up the exact same evening. It was debunked that she had any dealings with Marvel Disney with doing 3 films, including doing Black Panther and doing the Black Panther soundtrack. And he has a tweet within this article from Matt Donnelly, who is an editor within the Variety magazine. And I quote, "Despite overwhelming excitement at the prospect, sources tell me that there's no big Disney film deal for Beyonce, and she would not contribute to the soundtrack of Black Panther 2. As a self professed proud member of the Disney family, it is likely she'll work with them again at some point." End quote. And that tweet came June 10th at 2:52 p.m. So there you have it. It's not going to happen. But the reason why I'm shooting this video is because of article from Newsweek, which ranks true. Beyonce is Storm Black Panther 2. Fans aren't too keen. And I will definitely link that in as well. Why aren't fans too keen? Beyonce is money. She makes money. You put her in something, she'll bring you money. She'll bring in black fans. She'll bring in fans of her music, fans of her tours, fans of her performances. She can sing her butt off. She can dance. Problem is, girl can't act. Let's just get right now to the point. Beyonce cannot act. I believe the first film she was in was Austin Powers 3 Goldmember. I love Austin Powers. I love that entire series of movies. Easily, the third movie was the weakest. And yeah, her character Foxy Cleopatra was obviously, an homage to Pam Grier, being Foxy Brown and things like that. And a lot of people say that was the best role she was in. Honestly, in my opinion, it was tolerable because she was still bad. And you can say she's still bad because it's her first movie, and I don't feel like looking this up right now, but she was in another movie, her first major movie, where she was a wife and a mother, and there was a white woman who was obsessed with her family, obsessed with her husband. I enjoyed watching that movie too. It was a thriller, But, pardon me, Beyonce was not all that good. And I did not watch The Lion King live action remake because I saw the movie when I was a kid. I saw it a couple other times when I was a kid. I know what happens in The Lion King. I know what happens in Kimba, the White Lion. And I asked a really good friend of mine who watches all movies. He doesn't just watch comic book movies, doesn't just watch Disney movies, he watches all movies. And I said, how was the movie? I enjoyed it. How was her performance? It was off. It's hard to look at look at and hear Beyonce and not think, oh, that's just Beyonce. And I would akin her performances to Ronda Rousey playing Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat 11. She was horrible in that story mode. She was horrible with the voice acting. There's no emotion in there. Uh, Man, I haven't seen Dreamgirls in a long time. But if we're going to be completely honest, people were expecting Beyonce to be the breakout star in Dreamgirls. Jennifer Hudson stole the show, quite literally. Jennifer Hudson broke out from that. And you know that not just her voice is amazing, that Jennifer Hudson can also act her butt off as well. So, you can understand why people were visibly upset and perturbed and not wanting her to play Storm. Storm is easily one of, if not the most iconic comic book figure, especially when it comes to the African American community. She was the first black female character of African descent, blah, 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 to be in comic books. Storm has had a major role in the X-Men and in the Marvel Universe since she showed up in the second volume of the X-Men, which, included many other fan favorites like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus. She is a mainstay. She was previously played by Halle Berry, and Fox squandered that and didn't do anything with that. Halle Berry is an actress of the highest order and the highest caliber. But again, Fox Studios, Bryan Singer, and the rest of those bozos that were doing the writing and the directing didn't give her much due, especially when Halle Berry took the role so seriously. She read comic books for this. She read the major roles for Storm. Storm is an Avenger. She's an X-Force member. She's been a leader of the X-Men several times over. She's a teacher several times over. Storm is a big deal. And now that Marvel Disney have the rights to the character, we want to see the character done well. And I say we as in a fan. X-Men are my first love. I always love X-Men, period. We want to see it done well. Storm was also played live action wise. She was played by Alexandra Shipp. Alexandra Shipp currently is 28. So when they were doing the whole, what's his name? The young guy who played Professor Xavier, his name is escaping my mind. When they did the soft reboot from the X-Men Origins, when you had Michael Fassbender's Magneto, she somewhere down the line played Storm, but she barely had any speaking roles. The X-Men Apocalypse, she didn't say a word, and then in Dark Phoenix, she might have said one or two things. Again, the character has been squandered. We're tired of the character being squandered. Interesting to note, Jill Scott voice acted Storm in a motion comic of Black Panther that should still be on Hulu. I'm not 100% sure about that, but Jill Scott did a really good job voicing the character, giving her emotion and things like that. So, with that being said, who can play Storm? Well, they can always go back to Alexandra Shipp if they want to go for a young Storm, around 28, early 30s, and she could probably play an even younger version. Or, which is another thing I'm going to link to you, the American God star Yetide Badaki, she wants to play Storm. She made it very known a year ago that she would be interested in taking that role. And she's been in quite a few things. She's actually really, really good in terms of being an actress, and she's 38. So, why do these ages matter? Well, when you have people like Robert Downey Jr., who is now 53, I believe, and he can't play, well, he could play Iron Man forever, but, Marvel Disney looks at the age of these people, and the longer you're in a role, and older you get, the more money you're supposed to get, and they don't want to shell out the money for that. And at the same time, you have to look at the vision for it. It's more than just one thing. You got to look at the whole big picture. Honestly, I think Yetide would be perfect for the role of Storm. 38, and you can pass for early 30s, mid 30s. She can be in the role for a very long time. She can also have that teaching presence. She can have that motherly presence. She can have that fierce leader presence that the character should have. And might I mention, she's of Nigerian descent. She's Nigerian. It fits the character, fits the role. Uh, I don't really know what else I can say about it, but that's my 2 cents. That is a person I believe can play the role, or possibly should play the role. I really think they need to keep it close to home and get good actors. I know Disney's all about that money. Kevin Feige is doing a very good job of building these worlds. I would trust his decision in finding good actors and actresses. So yeah, guys. Hope you weren't too excited about Beyonce playing Storm. I know I wasn't. And according to Newsweek, a lot of people actually weren't excited either. There was actually a petition that went around saying, "Don't let this happen." Nobody wanted it to happen. So, if she has some type of capacity with Black Panther, maybe she'll help make a couple songs. Black Panther soundtrack is easily top five best comic book and best movie soundtracks I've ever heard. So, tell me what you guys think down below. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you had a good time. Be good. Be blessed.